WHOW app. This is local information making a difference.
Thanks for being with us here on this Tuesday morning. Coverage of news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. This past weekend, local veterans were invited to join a couple of pilots for plane rides over central Illinois. Jeff Morlock with Battlecross Crusaders in DeWitt County helped coordinate these flights with Nelson Thorpe in Wapella and an Indiana pilot to get local veterans back in the skies. He says for some veterans, it was the first time they'd flown since their days in the service.
Well, we invited several World War II, Korea, Vietnam veterans to come out and get a free flight out at Nelson Thorpe's airfield. We ended up having a World War II vet, 4 Korean vets, and 12 Vietnam vets that showed up for a free plane ride. Some of them haven't been in the air since they've been in the service. We actually had another pilot that was an Air Force pilot. That's a longtime friend of mine. He flew in as well and flew half the guys as well. And the World War II vet, we let him fly on both planes. The whole idea was to fly them over their hometowns and let them kind of see, their homes from overhead of what they were, fighting and defending our country for. So that was the whole concept. We flew over multiple towns to let them see their houses overhead. Some of them brought GoPro cameras. They just really loved the idea of being able to fly over and see their own house. A couple of them had their family members out in the yard. It was really a unique experience.
You might think it would take months of planning and coordinating an effort like this, but Morlock says they were able to put it together in a matter of days late last month and early this month.
Well, Dave Bernard, the gentleman we did the interview with you guys, a couple weeks ago, he got his Distinguished Service Cross by getting a rocket shot, and he had to jettison his rocket pods, and he got the award to save the guys' lives on the plane. I asked him if he'd want to get back on a plane again, if he could, and he said, yeah. I said I could probably make that happen. He thought I was kidding. Mr. Foster, the gentleman that flew in from Indiana, he used to actually design and install rockets years ago, and it just was a great fix, or a great mix for the two to get together and meet each other. Then it just kind of went from there. Got a hold of Nelson. Nelson said that, hey, let's get some more guys, and it just kind of grew from there. I started making calls last Tuesday, Wednesday night. It all kind of come together. Everything planned to come together nicely. Got both pilots to be able to be in. Nelson was actually going to have his plane shipped to his son-in-law, I believe, but he held off for a day or two. Literally Friday night, we had everybody locked in, had everybody full, and had a great time. We cooked some ham and beans for the guys. We mentioned, had each one of them mention a veteran that they'd like to have remembered in advance of Veterans Day, and it was just a great advanced Veterans Day gift to all the veterans.
Morlock sends thank yous to Nelson Thorpe, Chad Foster, and Kerry Coles from the Kenny Fire Department for being a first responder on the ground. He called it a team effort and a huge success for everyone involved. The Blue Ridge School District is embarking on its latest strategic plan, and the first that will involve Superintendent Dr. Hillary Stanifer. The second-year education veteran will lead the strategic planning process, and says because she was a part of the last strategic plan that expired a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm glad that you asked about this, because this is something that I had so much anticipation for. We actually met and did strategic planning on October 16th. It was a Saturday. You're thinking, oh, that's crazy. How did you get people to come in on a Saturday? Well, we really made sure that we promoted the activity and what we wanted to accomplish. So Blue Ridge has officially gone without a strategic plan since the end of the 18-19 school year. You might wonder, well, why on earth was that okay? How did that happen? Well, as we knew that we were transitioning to a new superintendent, from Susan Wilson to myself, she had the desire to allow me to guide the strategic planning process for the next year. And so as it was expiring at the end of the 18-19 school year, we thought we'll continue with the ideas that we've had, but we'll do an official reboot when I take over. Well, when I took over, we were very early in COVID, and COVID was not the time to bring in people to talk necessarily about the future, because we were just trying to make it day by day, right, for the whole entire year.
Mm-hmm.
So we are finally getting our feet up and running and starting to lead and move forward.
So far, the district has enrolled the help of the Illinois Association of School Boards and also have brought major stakeholders to the community to the table for the early stages of this process.
We consulted with the Illinois Association for School Boards, We work with our field representative, whose name is Patrick Allen. He's done several board trainings for us over the last couple of years as we've had new board members, new superintendent come aboard, and we have a good working relationship with him. So we invited Patrick to be our facilitator. So we had 28 people present on a Saturday starting at 8 a.m., and we worked until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We had mayors from 2 of our 3 communities. We had business leaders. We had parents. We had future parents of Blue Ridge. We had teachers. We had administrators. We had school board members. It was great. We fed them, kept everybody happy. We gave breakfast and lunch to everybody. And we spent a good amount of time talking about core values for our district. We talked about our current mission statement.
According to Dr. Stanifer, the mission statement of the school is a priority at this time. Additionally, they're focused on things like facilities, curriculum, and district community relations. She indicates everyone got the opportunity to weigh in on those things, and they tried to find trends among the feedback in each of those areas.
We talked about our current mission statement. Back in the day, mission statements were very long and hard to maybe have memorized and on the tip of your tongue. And that's what we found. Our mission statement isn't living and breathing right now because it's so long. There's nothing wrong with it, but if we can't recite it, then it's not really owned by us. So we are doing some work on our mission statement. We might even choose to be basically 4 verbs for our mission statement. That's still under work. And then we had some time to work on making some discussion about facilities, finance, curriculum and student achievement, programs and services, and district and community relations. And everybody got a chance at their table to take some Post-its and write about what was good in each of those areas. And they called the other side of the poster chart deltas, what we could change. In other words, what some vision would be for those areas. So everybody got to contribute to every topic. And then we put our Post-it notes all over the place, organized them, and then we broke our administrators up and our board members up and everybody else into those 5 different groups. And then we summarized what we saw there. Are there any outliers? Are there any common themes here? And those are going to be worked into our board goals and then our SMART goals going forward.
As things move along, Dr. Stanifer and the Board of Education were asked to give their goals in strategic planning. Those goals, along with what they heard from the community and its stakeholders, will be condensed and then worked on for the remainder of the school year.
Patrick did a really neat thing with us before he left. He wrote down all of the 11 big, huge goals right now. He wrote those down on our SMART board, put that up for everybody. And then he gave us a paper. It looked like a math test. And it made me happy because that was my area that I taught. But he had us take goal number 1 and then compare it to which is more important, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, all the way up to comparing goal 1 to goal 11. Which is the most important in your eyes? And then we went down to goal number 2. And we compared goal number 2 to number 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 5, and so on. And so then he labeled my paper with my name on it. He labeled the board members' papers, and he's going to compile that information and basically compare my goals with the board goals. Very important piece right there to spend time thinking about that. And then he'll look at everybody as a large group. And then what happens is the administrative team, so the principals and curriculum coordinator and myself, over this school year, the last 3 quarters of the school year, we'll sit down and talk about, okay, if we want to, what are the plans that we need to take right now to make sure that we can get there within the next couple of years? So.
Dr. Stanifer says while they have made progress to this point, they are by no means done with strategic planning. She is also very happy that once they have their plan finished and in place, the Illinois Association of School Boards continues to keep in contact with them about the things they're doing and making sure the plan is incorporated into the everyday aspects of the district. It was a perfect weekend of weather as one could ask for in central Illinois, and while the nice, warmer than usual air is going to hang around for the early part of the week, things change quickly later this week. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln told Regional Radio News cold air from the north is going to move in with some passing rain and bringing cooler temperatures.
Well, yeah, we were able to bring out some wonderful fall weather. I mean, highs in the 60s and actually mid 60s yesterday, just banner day, just one of those really enjoyable weekends for all things outdoors. We had mid to upper 60s yesterday all across almost the entire state of Illinois. Saturday was very good as well. Lower 60s, maybe some middles as well across the entire state. So pretty similar. No, that is unusual, especially for Illinois. It's a very tall state north to south, and we can have 30 to 40 degree differences across the state in some parts of the fall and winter time. So having that much normalcy across the state is not normal, no.
For the remainder of the week, the above normal temperatures will linger, but later this week, it's going to cool off, preceded by rainfall.
Yeah, we're going to see 60s for highs, today, tomorrow, and even Wednesday. Although we're going to have some rain chances start to arrive. Tomorrow, we could see a sprinkle or two. So it's going to be a generally cloudy day, not sunny. And a little cold front kind of settles in here, but no big deal there. Wednesday, probably decent most of the day, although there'll be a decent amount of cloud across the sky. But Wednesday night, rain is going to be coming for sure. And there's a cold front that's approaching, so some likely rain Wednesday night and Thursday morning especially. So that 12-hour window from midnight to noon looks more wet than not. And then in the afternoon, things start to move out. But behind that's going to be coming some cold air. Thursday night, cold front set us down below normal as we head into Friday. And then into the weekend, highs will only be in the 40s. And Sunday, maybe low 40s. So, get ready. You're going to need the coats as you head into the week.
Looking ahead, Shimon indicates we're looking for below normal temperatures. He says the lows shouldn't be too far below average, but highs will be below normal, and don't expect to see much sun either.
Yeah, the 6 to 10 day outlook and the 8 to 14 are both showing trending below normal temperatures. So our normal highs are like right around mid 50s and our normal lows in the mid to upper 30s. So, we're definitely going to be cold coming up to not necessarily the lows being all that below normal, but the highs are going to be, about 5 to 10 degrees below normal across the board here for a couple of weeks, it looks like. So hopefully we can break out of that for Thanksgiving, but, just prepare for a colder last half of November, it looks like. There's going to be a big shift in the pattern. Right now we're kind of under what we call a ridge in the upper atmosphere, which is, sinking air, but come at this weekend, starting Thursday night and through the weekend and a good part of next week, we're going to be under what's called a trough, which is, rising air and continuous cloud formations. It's just going to be reinforcing energy coming out of Canada. That's going to trigger a shower here, a shower there, and just maybe even a few flurries in there too. So, it's going to be cold enough overnight. Some of the nights, if anything's falling, you might see a flake here or there. So just going to be a cloudy, pretty much 6 to 10 days after this, cold front moves through.
Shimon says as we transition to December, the above normal temperature trend could return. He says trends are showing warm air returning for December and even possibly into early January. It's 22 minutes after the hour here on this Tuesday. We start the day under partly cloudy skies. It's 43 degrees in Clinton this morning. Plenty more to get to coming up on the WHOW Morning Show.
At Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City, our job is to help you and solve your transportation needs. This is Scott Baum. Both in Clinton or Farmer City, we'll listen and find options for a different vehicle. Or we'll give you repair options to keep that car, truck, or SUV safe and trouble-free so you can continue with your busy schedule. If it has to do with transportation, we're here to help. Visit our full-service team today in Clinton or Farmer City. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
23 minutes after the hour here this morning. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. The cool, dry weather gave farmers more time to continue harvesting this past week. Nearly 5 days were suitable for fieldwork, says crop statistician Mark Schleusner.
Corn harvest advanced to 90% finished. That compares to 94 1 year ago and 87% for the 5-year average. Soybean harvest reached 85% finished compared to 96 last year and 92% normally.
Schleusner looks at other crops.
Winter wheat planting advanced to 80% finished compared to 97 last year and 91 normally. 59% of wheat acres have emerged compared to 76 normally. Wheat conditions declined to 7% very poor to poor, 12 fair, and 81% good to excellent.
Average statewide topsoil moisture came in at 4% short, 87% adequate, and 9% surplus. A solar energy project proposed in central Illinois in the Peoria area would use some 100,000 solar panels and have the capacity to power the equivalent of 10,000 homes, according to officials. According to reports, the 35-megawatt project would be located on a 223-acre site just north of Washburn, northeast of Peoria. It's waiting final approval by the Marshall County Board, which is expected to vote on the proposal tomorrow. The project is considered utility scale, providing considerably more energy than most 2-megawatt community solar farms that have been approved in central Illinois so far. The site of the project is farmland owned by two brothers who live nearby and have farmed for many years. One of the brothers, Troy White, says the acreage for the solar project is just a fraction of the land the brothers farm. If approved, construction would occur in 2023 and will consist of installing solar panels in 1,000 rows of 100 panels each. The panels will be installed on a tracking axis so they follow the sun throughout the day. Governor J.B. Pritzker has been in Glasgow, Scotland at the UN's climate conference. He's touting the state's recent climate bill that works to phase out coal-fired power generation by 2045. The governor says the bill that was passed by lawmakers wasn't just about climate change. It was about preparing the state for the next generation of jobs.
Real focus on this is about economic development as much as it is about saving our planet. And so, and that's, I think, one important thing that we all ought to be saying as we are moving forward with our plans to meet these goals in the very short term is that this is really, we can do both at the same time. And we're at a moment, I think, where there's good recognition of that. And
the governor's overseas trip finishes up today. If you're already thinking about the 2022 growing season, that is, the State Ag Pest Survey Coordinator is compiling a list of things to be aware of.
We are actually in the process of finalizing our top 12 most unwanted invasives for Illinois for 2022, and spotted lanternfly remains at the top of our list. Currently not known to be found here, but we are getting reports getting closer and closer to Illinois, with the last one being in Indiana a month or so ago. Asian longhorn beetle stays on there. It's a possible reintroduction. Tree moth is a new one that we'll be adding this year, with some finds of that in the eastern part of the U.S. And then we're deciding on our last pathogens to keep in there, but also as far as invasive plants, giant hogweed, salt cedar, and then we'll also be adding Mila minute-weed, particularly a threat for those in the southern part of the state, as it's been found in states south of us. So getting the last bit of that put together, and those fact sheets will be developed here in the next probably 3 weeks so we can get them in print.
Those fact sheets should be available in early January in both hard copy and on online format. And again, that was State Ag Pest Survey Coordinator Kelly Estes. Illinois was well represented at the UN Climate Change Conference in Scotland. U.S. Senator Dick Durbin says it's critical the United States is on board with the rest of the world fighting climate change.
Resuming our participation in the Paris Agreement was necessary, but not sufficient. Necessary because it meant that we were back into the conversation with that League of Nations that believe, as we do now and should, that this climate change is an existential threat to our global existence. But insufficient just to say we're on board.
Durbin says the Build Back Better bill will better prepare the U.S. to address climate change here and across the planet. It is 28 minutes after the hour here on this Tuesday morning. We start the day under partly cloudy skies. Temperatures right now at 44 degrees. We'll see increasing clouds today with chances of rain showers later this afternoon. Slight chances at that. Temperatures today around 60 degrees. Slight chances of rain showers tonight with a gradual clearing. Lows in the upper 40s. And for your Wednesday, partly sunny, a bit breezy. Highs around 63 degrees. Southeast winds on Wednesday from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Coverage of news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. As we come up on 7:30 on this Wednesday, stay with us for network news, network sports, a look at local sports. Stu Ellis has the farm gates, and we get a look at the markets this morning as well. All that and plenty more coming your way right here on the WHOW Morning Show. Stream live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com, at the WHOW mobile app, and at Amazon Alexa. Again, coming up on 7:30 on this Tuesday, network news on the way on the WHOW Morning Show.